Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. This is Richard Petrillo, and a lot of you know that I'm a big believer in the internet and attraction marketing, especially using many of the online methods, whether it's social media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, article marketing, webinars, you name it. But today I want to stress the old school method. Let's not forget, network marketing started long before the internet was around. Huge teams were built, millions of dollars have been made just by using some of the old school methods and doing a few simple steps, things that are easy to duplicate. So let's dive right in. It's all about the list. How many times have you heard the money is in your list? Well, it's the single most important step you need to take when starting your business. Really, end of story. Ideally, you should put together a list of 300 names. Okay, get up off the floor. It's really not that difficult to come up with 300 names. I'll show you where you can find them. First thing I want you to do is pull out your cell phone. For most of us, this is like a little mini Yellow Pages. I'd venture to guess that your cell phone alone is worth at least 100 names, right? The next stop is your calendar. Many of us will use our calendar for business, and this can produce your entire list. For the rest of us, I bet you can find at least another 50 or 60 names to pull from. All right, I want you to just stop and think about all the places you do business with. Who do you give your hard-earned money to when buying goods or services? This is where you're going to pick up more names than you can imagine. What about your dentist or your hairstylist or the school principal or your mechanic and the guy that owns the dry cleaners that you go to every week? Your kids, friends, parents. There's so many people that you can bring up your opportunity with. I could keep going on that list, but I think you get the idea. That list alone should be good for at least another 25 names. Write them all down. You can edit them out later. All right, we ought to be around about 180 names by now. Okay, I got you halfway there, so be creative, and I bet you can add at least another 50 names. I know, it still doesn't add up to 300, but down the road, I'm going to show you how you can create an endless stream of warm market leads, always replacing the ones you've talked to with a fresh new set of leads. Okay, so here's where we have the real fun. This is a 15-second script that you can use to contact your newly made list without selling a thing. This is completely non-threatening, non-evasive type of selling approach, all right? And the best of all is you're not going to be discouraged or feel shot down in any way if you follow this step by step. All right, so here's how it goes. We'll call it the favor. This is for people you've not yet pitched, okay? Call them and say, hey, Bob, listen, I'd like you to do me a favor. If anyone mentions your company, promise me you'll come back and ask me about it, okay? Or for the people you've done business with over the years, you can try saying this. Hey, Bob, I'm just calling a few people that I've worked with over the years, and I'd like to ask a favor of you. If anyone mentions your business to you, hey, promise me you'll come back and ask me about it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If this sparks a, hey, what's this about, or what are you doing these days? Stop yourself from saying anything except, it's crazy busy for me right now. Let me give you a call back tomorrow and get off the phone. Now you've raised their curiosity. It's always best to pique somebody's curiosity and leave them wanting just a little bit more, right? You want to always be sure you seem busy. And that'll be easy, right? Because you will be. So on the callback, here's what you say. Hey, Bob, yesterday when we spoke, you were asking me about my company, and I just want you to know this may not be for you, but, I think the timing's right, and I'm really serious about making money with it. If you're interested, great. If not, no big deal. If they respond negatively, tell them, okay, hey, thanks for your time and move on. Don't even give it a second thought. But if they're positive and want more information right away, just tell them, hey, it's a lot to explain and I'm really busy working with other prospects right now. Listen, I've got a really cool video that explains it all. What's your email? And I'll send you over a link. Then send them a link to your webinar or conference call or whatever tool your company has to offer. Maybe it's a video your upline sponsor did. Just get an invite into their hands. Be sure and tell them that, you're going to call them back in 45 minutes or so to answer their questions. Or better yet, give them a choice at 2 different times that fit your schedule to call them back. Ask them to watch the webinar and then, say, what's a better time for me to call? Is it 6 or 8 p.m. tonight? And then stick to it. And on the callback, after they reviewed the webinar, don't try and give them an entire rundown on the whole business if they seem interested. If they start asking you detailed questions, just tell them, this is probably the best way to get all your questions answered. Can you mind holding on for a second? And then use the 3-way call. Get your upline sponsor on the phone or Call the next in line and let them do the work for you, especially if you're new to the business. Once the three-way begins, don't say a word unless your upline asks you for some more information. This process is going to do a couple of very important things. Number one, it shows them how simple the system is, and subconsciously they think, oh man, I can do this. And number two, it shows strong group support. Remember, your downline is going to do what they see you doing. You know, the favor really is a simple way to get your opportunity out to your warm market without some kind of hardline sales pitch. You know, give this approach a shot and see if it doesn't make your life just a bit easier. It's helped me tremendously. I don't have all those butterflies churning in my stomach when I go to pick up the phone and start prospecting. For most of you, just the thought of picking up the phone and calling a prospect causes nightmares. I know. I used to feel exactly the same way. But since implementing this one little 15-second script into my prospecting, really, I feel so much more empowered now and almost unstoppable. If you're looking for another quick tip to use when prospecting, you can check out my insanely simple prospecting tip number 1. There's a great little script there, especially when you're traveling and meeting people from out of town. I hope this helps, and if you've found some value in this short little video, please do me a favor. Then at the bottom of the page, leave me a comment and let me know either way if you liked this. And don't forget, tell your friends by sharing this on Facebook and retweeting it. All right, thanks. I'll see you guys all in the next video.